Thanks, yeah. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna disappear.
Yeah.
Have fun. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
My fault.
Oh yeah, good fun. Shall I switch the light on? No.
Yeah. It's up to
Hey.
you.
No, leave the light on. Right, okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. This is your boy Saj Malik on Radio Sangam 107.9 FM. You usually are vibing with me. It's just vibing Saj. You know my Instagram, and you probably hear me on a Monday night at 11 o'clock, while 1 a.m. Today, I've got a very special guest with me today. We're going to zoom all the way over the Atlantic, across the ocean, over into Toronto. And we got my main man. It's Blitz, or used to be known as Blitzkrieg. Yes. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying?
Yes, Saj. What's going on, brother? My brother from Huddersfield. How are you?
Good, man. Good. So, just to let everybody know, you're actually quite familiar with these shows anyway. So you've spent some time in the UK.
Yeah, I lived in the UK for over 10 years. So I started coming to UK in about 2003, 2004. And then we just stayed, me and Roach. We were going back and forth. And then when I got signed by Tiger Style, I just stayed there. So Roach obviously is still there. He created a life for himself and he lives in Birmingham. But myself, we moved from Glasgow to Leicester to Manchester to Birmingham to central London. So I'm very familiar. I performed in Huddersfield. The Huddersfield Midla is one of my favorite Midlas. A beautiful crowd. Crowd.
Yeah. So just to let people know, people that aren't aware of your music, I know you've got a big following anyway. But with sort of the hip hop, well, when were you growing up as a Desi kid in the West? You kind of went with the Western music, with sort of what was going on in the charts, or you would have been a hip hop head. So for me, when I was growing up, I was a real hip hop head. I really got attached to it. But I also had like a bit of a Desi side to me as well. So I used to listen to all the Bhangra, some Bolly and that kind of stuff. Tell me a little bit about yourself. So growing up as a kid, where were you born and raised? What languages are you speak? Can you speak? Are you multilingual? What sort of musical influenced you?
Yeah, not an issue. So basically, I was born and raised in Toronto, Canada, in the west end of Toronto, Canada. And for some reason, the west end of every city, whether it's London, whether it's Toronto, that's where all the Desis stay for some reason, right? It's like we land in the airport and we don't wander too far away from the airport. So I grew up near the airport, just kind of like, the equivalent of like a Hounslow or like a Hayes or like a
Southall.
Yeah, Southall type of area, where all the Asians are. So obviously my background being Punjabi, I'm multilingual and I'm fluent in Punjabi because Punjabi and Hindi and Urdu are very similar. So I can very easily pick up on Hindi and Urdu, but when I reply in Punjabi. So obviously that's my home tongue. My grandmother raised me, so obviously she didn't know English. So to communicate with my BBG, I had to speak to her in Punjabi. So Toronto is very close to New York City. So being from Canada and being literally from Toronto to the border of America is only an hour away. So an hour drive. So being that close to America, you're heavily influenced by the American sound and the culture. So I grew up listening to mid-90s New York hip hop. So whether it's Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, Nas, anything around that era and that genre is what really influenced me. So I wasn't really even listening to indie music, but subconsciously, because when you come home and your parents are watching Bollywood movies and Punjabi movies and listen to Bhangra music,
you can't get away from it.
You can't get away from it, and it's implanted subconsciously in the back of your brain. So what happened was I started rapping, and back then there wasn't really any Asian rappers, at least any Asian rappers that could rap well. And I gained a really big name for myself in Toronto, battle rapping on the streets because I could rap. And if you were to close your eyes, you couldn't tell if I was Asian, black, white, whatever. Somehow, Punjabi MC got a hold of my demo tape. And he took it, and he had an online radio show back then called 60 Minutes of Desi. He played the entire demo tape on his radio show. And because he was just so enamored by the fact that an Asian guy could rap and sound like a Kala, basically, right? Yeah. So that's what happened. So after that, I guess back then he had such a following on his radio show. Tiger Style, Punjabi Hit Squad, Bobby Friction, Nihal, Adel Ray, Universal Music UK, Def Jam UK. They all started contacting me and wanting to play my music and wanting to work with me. So I don't have any family or friends in the UK. So, I'm just sending them. I didn't even know what the BBC was. So I was just sending them stuff like, okay, whatever. And I started getting these large publishing checks, these large royalty checks, because back then the conversion rate of a British pound to Canadian was 2.3. So if you think about it, for every $100, every 100 pounds I made in the UK, it was $230 Canadian. So when these large labels are coming to me and saying to me, hey, we'd like to license your track for a compilation, we'll give you 3,000 quid. That's like nearly $10,000 Canadian. And I'm a kid in high school. So I never had to work. Like I just automatically just started making money off music because of what was going on in the UK. So that went on for so long to the point where I thought to myself, you know what? It's worth a trip to England because I'm making so much money out there and getting so much notoriety. I filled up a rucksack full of 1,000 CDs. And me and my mate, we flew to England. I had 3 phone numbers. I literally only had like 200-300 quid in my pocket. And we would stand in Leicester Square every day in front of the Burger King. And we would freestyle battle people until we sold 100 CDs every day. And that in itself created such a buzz because back then, the American style of dress was different too. So we were wearing baggy jeans, basketball jerseys, hats backwards. So people were like, there's some guys that look like Cameron and Dipset that standing in front of the Burger King, battling everyone. So off of that, I got invited up to the BBC, got invited to headline melas and stuff. And then Tiger Style signed me. And then I ended up releasing my album through VIP Records in 2007 called The Rhyme Book. And that dominated the UK charts at that time. And the rest is history, brother. Like, we literally, what people... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I remember when I first heard Kora with Roach. And when I first heard that, I was like, yo, what is this? Like, this, we got a proper lyricist here. This guy's Brown. He's a proper lyricist. And I don't want to like sort of trash people, but Desi rappers, they didn't really have the whole hip hop ideal. They didn't really get it. And it was just kind of talking over music. It wasn't even really rapping. There was no focus on lyrics, like rhyming properly, a proper lyricist. And even the clothing, people don't realize is hip hop. It's a whole culture. There's so many facets to it, so many fronts, so many dimensions to hip hop. And I remember when I saw you and I thought, this guy can drop lyrics, man. I thought, wow, do you know what I mean? And that track, it was a bit of a wild track. Kora Mera Bole, but that and something, I still remember. I still remember a line from that track. It was, I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't like your BS. I used to use that. I used to use it on my friends. I used to say, oh, listen, I'm just gonna let you know I'm lactose intolerant. You know what I mean? I love it, and you know what? And I thought, for the first time, we've got a real rap artist. And the thing was, like, we had other people and stuff, and like Apache Indian did his own thing. It was a totally different thing. We did have a few, but it was very few and far between people that bought that real thing. And the way you dressed, I could tell that you were sort of you preferred the East Coast style of rap and stuff. So I mean, what kind of artists were you into then? What kind of artists would you say were an influence on you? I know you mentioned like Nas and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was completely boggled with anybody that knows 90s hip hop. If I was to kind of geek out, I was completely enamored with Queensbridge. Like anything coming out of Queensbridge, the Mobb Deep, the Core Mega, the Nas, the Nature, the Infamous, anything coming out of Queens was like. And then obviously, like more underground groups like Boot Camp Click, like Buckshot Shorty, like, Black Moon, OGC, Helter Skelter, like really underground, hardcore hip hop groups, And it's funny that you mentioned that because that's kind of what helped me and Roach stand out was the fact that we weren't faking it. Like we really lived that life because we are from it. So coming from Canada to the UK, you know, you can't really blame Asian MCs from the UK because that's not where you guys are from. Like you guys, we cannot rap. You know, now that, you know, grime turned like drum and bass and D&B turned to grime turned to trap, and that's like the wave. There's no way that North American MCs can rap on a trap beat like a British MC can, because you guys are born and bred into that. It's in your blood. And that's kind of like hip hop. It's in us. We grow up, you know, it's North America, bro. Everywhere we look, everything we do, everything you see in the movies of dudes drinking 40s, hanging out on the corner, freestyling all night. Like we grew up like that. So that's what it is. But yeah, those are the artists I was heavily into.
It's not like you were putting it on or trying to be something that you weren't. You actually lived that life. You grew up like that. What do you think of Dave East recently? Like hip hop has had like a resurgence. I mean, he went into sort of trap and the Migos thing and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not gonna trash them because it's their own thing, it's their own movement, whatever, it's their own scene. But recently you've had artists like Dave East. What do you think of Dave East?
I think Dave East is phenomenal, man. Like I think the resurgence of like, even like, you know, you could see it because real hip hop hasn't gone anywhere. Look at the people that are dominating the charts. Kendrick Lamar is dominating the charts. He's an MC's MC. J. Cole is an MC. And you know, regardless, I'm not trying to be biased because I'm from Toronto, but Drake is a good rapper, man. Like if you peel back all the commercial stuff and the girl songs, the guy can rap, man. So at the end of the day, yes, you know, the trap rappers and the whatever you want to call it, they may be popular, but really the guys at the pinnacle of the game are still guys that love the craft and have perfected the craft.
Yeah, and they still love hip hop. It's the true old hip hop of the 90s. It's really sad. Recently, DMX passed away. Were you a fan of DMX as well?
I think everybody was growing up like DMX. He changed the game. You know, like it was funny because DMX had that. DMX when before he came out, it was that bad boy Puff Daddy run with the shiny suits and more money, more problems. And then when DMX came out, and then on the first single on Get At Me Dog, at the start of the song, the first time you heard him, all he said at the start of the song was, "Let's take it back to the streets." And you know, and then he said swear word, but it was like, oh, and the video was black and white, it was grimy, it was dark, and it was like he took the game back to the essence of the streets, you know?
He did, and also he when he came in, he brought back like you were saying, he brought back that grimy, very manly kind of rough riders, you know, with the motorbikes, the pit bulls, the dogs, the streetwear, the baggy jeans, all that kind of stuff, and kind of changed it from the bling that was sort of dominating rap and all that kind of stuff. He really did change it. I want to talk about your videos as well. I mean, your videos were always they weren't your you always tried to make them very hip hop. The video you did in the skateboard,
the tiger style,
with tiger style, I love that. And you had somebody else featured on that as well with you, a rapper. Can't remember.
No, tiger style was on by myself.
Yeah, or was it just you?
It
was Tiger Style and you, and then I tell you what was a game changer was the Dillagi track.
Yeah, I saw you playing that the other day. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Man, honestly, you know something? A lot of people don't know about that. They don't know about it. You know, they might have heard the track, but they don't know about it. So Rafaqat Ali Khan is a legendary singer, a legend in his own right for what he does. You know, his Sufi music and stuff. And you get a lot of people trying to cover that track, originally done by Ustad Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, and it's an amazing track. But for somebody to attempt to do that and to do it really well, we definitely achieved that, Rafaqat Ali Khan. And then you had Blitz on there, and you had Choclair as well, another big Canadian rapper. That video, you had the Mustangs in there as well. And it was the way it was done. It was so slick, such a good production. It looked like a Puff Daddy video. It was, that sort of level of production.
Yeah.
Tell me about that song, what it meant to you, getting it together, working on it.
So one of the biggest things, like I said, like when I was trying to iterate before, is that even though I'm Asian, and I respect Asian culture and I respect Asian music, but I didn't really grow up listening to it. It was always subconscious in the back of my head. So I feel like that's kind of been my advantage in life, because when I heard Dil Lagi, I didn't know the original song. I know who Nusrat is, and I obviously respect his talent, amazing, But because I listened to hip hop my whole life, this Asian music scene and being in the Asian music scene, it happened to me and Roach by accident. We were in Toronto just rapping in English, battling people on the street, and I had demo tape all in English, nothing to do with Indian. And Punjabi MC heard it, and that just kind of took our careers and brought us to the UK and put us into this whole Asian world. So, anybody I've worked with, whether it's Rishi, Juggy, the biggest artists, I never had any idea of their impact or how big they were. I just walked into a studio and worked with them like they were regular people, because I'm not into Asian music like that. So that kind of touches on Dil Lagi. I didn't know the original song. All I knew was this guy's a good singer and this is a great melody. And I found out after that it's a Rafaqat cover. I mean, it's a Nusrat cover. So when I did it, Mentor, I was playing at the London Mela, and Mentor came to me with a CD. He gave me a CD and he said, listen, bro, I was working on my second album, Get Blitz. He said, here's a beat for you. It's already done. The hook is already on there, everything. You just need to do your thing. And then I was good friends with a big pop Canadian rapper called Choclair. So I got him on the track. And the reason why the video looks good is because we won a grant from the Canadian government. So I'm the first Punjabi artist to win a grant from the Canadian government for musical talents. And they gave me $30,000 to make that video. That's why when you see that, it looks like a big production, because we shut down streets in the middle of Toronto, had big lighting, everything, and it was the best of the best. So even though I shot it in 2010, so even when you watch it in 2021, it still looks like a cinematic experience.
It does. Looks very Hollywood. It looks like a Hollywood production.
Yeah, it was. There was hundreds of people on set. Streets were shut down, so it was a very big deal. And that song has done amazing for me, brother.
Yeah. Recently you did on your YouTube, I saw your freestyle over Whoopty.
Yeah.
I love that, man. It's so I loved it. I love how you dropped some Punjabi, with the Punjabi and everything. I loved it. What made you do that?
I mean, so basically what happened was, just to kind of maybe tie into a bunch of things we were talking about. I'm an avid motorcycle rider. I got into a very serious motorcycle accident in November, and I was hospitalized for 3 months in the hospital. I broke multiple bones. I couldn't walk, and I couldn't even leave the hospital. My own mother couldn't see me in the hospital because of COVID restrictions. So as I was sitting in the hospital, I was on Instagram, and obviously I'm watching all these guys rapping on their Instagram, sitting in the car rapping. And I said, that's cool, but it just kind of lit a fire under me, where I was like, you know what? When I get out of here and I can walk again, I'm going to drop a freestyle every week. Every week I'm going to drop, because I have my own video company. That's why I direct a lot of Roach's videos. I direct a lot of my own videos. That's why when you go on my Instagram at Blitz Music 1, the quality, the visual quality and the audio quality of my freestyles is far above somebody just sitting in their car freestyling.
It's absolutely amazing, honestly. I have to say myself.
So that's kind of what I did. Was I work with a live band. A lot of my music I do now is with a live band. So I took my percussion player who plays bongos and congos and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? Let's just keep it rolling. So Whoopty was a big song while I was in the hospital, and I thought I just came up with a freestyle. So that's just one of many,
Yeah. So you did a track 600cc.
Yeah.
Is that a reference to motorcycling then?
Yeah, exactly. A 600cc is the type of motorcycle. That's the type of motorcycle I ride. Right, so, I had recorded the song. Ironically enough, I had recorded the song before I got in an accident, just as it's part of my life. I rap about things that I really do, right? So I was rapping about the motorcycle. And then when I got in the accident, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to put together an album and just put it out. I recorded 3 albums worth of material. So I have 3 albums ready. This is just the first one. I have 3 more. So when I was picking the single, I thought to myself, you know what? I should go with 600cc because I got in a motorcycle accident. This is a big moment in my life that changed the direction of my life. So it's a celebratory thing where I'm saying, you know what? It's not about how many times you fall off the bike, but how many times you get back up and get back on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
So it's a metaphor in so many ways, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I, growing up in the 90s, for me, I grew up in a really racist area.
Right.
So we had a real tough time growing up. And one of the things hip hop did for me, it was, even though it was predominantly a black urban culture, it gave me something, it gave me hope, and it helped me realize that I have an identity, and not just the Desi music, because I always felt that Desi music was for the subcontinent and it would stay there. With growing up in the West, I was really able to attach myself to sort of hip hop, and groups like Public Enemy really helped me, you know, stand up and recognize myself as a person. And even though they were very politicized, but I think they gave me a lot of hope. And as I grew up, I never ever thought that you would have proper Asian MCs. Do you think hip hop is available, or people outside of the black community can be a part of the hip hop community or part of the hip hop movement?
I think hip hop's it's kind of like how you started this interview, right? Hip hop is a way of life. So it's not just about music. So it's the story of the underdog. It's the story of the have not, right? Anyone that's faced any kind of adversity and been the underdog in their life can relate to it. And that's what's great about it. And it does bring people together, you know? And so I don't think you have to necessarily be African American or from a certain culture to enjoy hip hop. You can be, you know, the reason why hip hop is worldwide is, you know, hip hop is big in countries where they don't even understand the English language, but it's the feeling. People attach to the feeling of it, right? I don't think that, but I do think at the end of the day that it'll be a long time until there's glass ceilings in the music industry, right? Like there's only so far that an Asian MC at this point in time probably can get, you know, without a big cosign. I'm yet to see, you know, not to sound like arrogant or anything or any of that, but not even just myself. But first of all, I'm yet to meet that many MCs that could out rap me and Roach, like really, really rap, you know. But I'm sure they're out there. Like I've heard that guy from Foreign Beggars, Pavin. I think he's amazing. He can rap, man.
Yeah, Foreign Beggars are amazing. Yeah.
So why aren't MCs like that recognized on a bigger level, right? And there's so many answers to that. Maybe we're not as good as we think we are, and maybe we're not good enough for the mainstream. But if that's the case, why are we consistently getting paid from labels, and why do we have hundreds of thousands of views and all these platforms and people wanting to talk to us? So it's who knows? Maybe the world is. I mean, how many white MCs have there been that have really, really crossed over? You know, it is a black art form, and whether people want to admit it or not, there's definitely glass ceilings there. I'll be happy. You know, I'll be happy the day, you know, an Asian MC makes it to that pinnacle of the J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar's, but it'll definitely happen. The world's becoming a more inclusive place, so let's see what happens. You know.
I think that there is a strong movement forward. There is a future. Do you have any artists in mind at the moment that you think might be artists to look out for, sort of in the next generation? Maybe in the grime, or maybe in sort of the rap in the hip hop world?
Like in terms of grime, I don't really know the scene that well because, you know, I'm from here, so I don't really listen to grime, or I don't know it too well. But in terms of hip hop, are you talking about Asian MCs?
Yeah, Asian MCs, yeah.
You know what? I think, well, not MCs, but like I think what AP Dillon and those guys are doing is amazing. Yeah. I think I saw a picture on Instagram a couple of days ago, AP Dillon with Nas. So who knows? You know, who knows what who knows what's in the works, right? But I think the power of the internet and what's happening is like I just became aware of because of Roach. I became aware of guys like Sparkerman, what's it, JJ Esco, like these guys from like Birmingham that rap, and bro, their videos independently are hitting 1 million views authentically, you know. And I think the advantage that the younger generation has is that when we were coming up, there was gatekeepers. You had to be on the radio, you had to be on TV, you had to be on the newspaper. If you were on Eastern Eye, the BBC, and Just Bhangra on ZTV, you were a star, right? But the problem was to get on those outlets, you needed to do certain types of music, right? Now you can keep authentic, you can be super lyrical, and slowly just cultivate your own fan base and get popular and make a living without having to compromise your art. And so, you know, in answer to your question, I can't think of anybody specifically, but I can think that yes, younger people will be able to get their voices heard easy because of the outlets.
I think you're right with rap music, with hip hop. It really was a voice for the oppressed. It was a voice for people that were didn't have an identity or were struggling. I remember seeing an interview with a Latino rapper. He was called Kid Frost from back in the day. Do you remember Kid Frost? Yeah, I do. And he said that hip hop is an urban art form, and I think really urban or that sort of scene, that environment, it encompasses everybody that's struggling. You see people now in around the world, when you see people in war zones, in dictatorships, living under dictatorships, they always tend to use rap and hip hop as an outlet to express their feelings. What are your opinions on gully rap? And maybe, I don't know if you've heard or are familiar with rap from Pakistan, sort of up and coming at the moment. I don't know if you've heard of them. Do you have any opinions on that? Have you listened to any of that?
There was actually a gentleman, in terms of rap from Pakistan, I don't know the names of too many groups, but I know the scene out there is just really thriving, brother. Like it's amazing. And there was Bobby Friction actually just did a no filter with a Pakistani rap artist. I forgot his name, but he did a no filter with him last month. And I actually sat back and I listened to the whole story, and bro, you know, it was phenomenal. And I heard his talents, and I was like, bro, these guys are living. You can feel the oppression and the hunger in them, you know. I think it's an amazing scene. I think in terms of the Indian rap scene, you know, I was fortunate enough to be on Gully Boy, so I was able to kind of like tap into that whole scene. The only thing I don't really like about the Punjabi rap scene is, you know, everybody's trying to be Bohemia. Like every guy, like, you know, Bohemia is the godfather, like, of rapping in Punjabi, and that's his lane. Let the man do him. Every guy has the same cadence and tone. They all rap, oh, meri gully vich, like everything sounds the same, and there's no cadence. You know, like there's no. I don't think these guys understand. Like, okay, cool, you're saying something good, but do you understand what the word flow means? When somebody asks you, yo, can you flow? It's not about can you rhyme. That's a separate topic. Do you have flow? Biggie was popular because as soon as he started rapping, he had a melody and a cadence to his rap that would make you bob your head. These guys don't have that. And I'm not talking about everybody from India. I'm just saying like anybody who tries to copy that. I think we all know, everybody I know laughs in the industry about 99% of the time when one of these guys is going to rap, you can tell they're going to be rapping in that dark monotone. But other than that, there's a lot of guys out there that are amazing. Like, I'm good friends with Sikandar Kalon. I think he's amazing, man. Like, he's dope. I think I can't really understand what he says, Emmy Bentway, because he uses like street Marathi Urdu. It's like I can't pick up on too much of it, but he can rap, bro. He's got flow. He has flow, right? There's a difference between being a lyricist and being able to make a song. So if you're going to release songs, you have to master the art of songwriting. It's not always just about being the most lyrical. Can I make their head bob? Can I create a catchy chorus? I think India still has a long way to go in terms of the song structure, but I think they have
this is something that Roach Killer does really, really well. He's got really good melodies, and he can jump in and out of dance hall, ragga, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
So it's funny you brought up Roach, right? So because me and Roach came up together and we spend the most amount of time together, when I was growing up and we would go to the studio, there would be two different writing processes. When I write, I'm coming from a point of view of listening to people like Nas and MF Doom and stuff. So I'm trying to concentrate, you know, I'm lactose intolerant, I'm allergic to beat. Like, I'm trying to think of catchy punchlines and trying to make them fit on a beat. Where Roach's writing process, which I've learned from, is he'll go into the studio, he'll listen to the beat, and he'll just mumble to himself forever. And he'll even record references of himself mumbling with no real words, because what he's doing is he's perfecting the melody first. And then he finds the words that fit to the melody. Wherefore, what I was doing was I was finding the words and trying to force them on the beat. And it's that marriage. You have to find that marriage of both.
Yeah, yeah. I touched upon the gully rap, but what I really wanted to talk about is achievements. I think from an outsider looking in, looking at you as an artist, when it comes to achievements, I think getting a track in a Bollywood movie is a real big thing. So it's a massive deal. And I'm a big Bhangra fan, and I absolutely love Kaka Peniawala. He's, in my opinion, one of the best vocalists ever. Sadly, we've lost him now, but he was one of the best Bhangra vocalists ever to have lived. So for me, I think looking at a Desi artist, looking at you growing up outside of the Indian subcontinent, for me, I think that's a great achievement. How do you feel about that? And do you have any other achievements that you feel greatly about, or
I mean, just initially touching on Gully Boy, it was a life-changing moment, brother. It's going to be something that, you know, I'll be able to tell my, you know, I don't have any children or anything, but one day when I have children or my grandkids, it's something I can tell them. I do have nephews. It's something that I can share with them. It's going to live forever, bro. Like, they just shipped me the vinyl. They just released the vinyl of Gully Boy. And that was a huge thing, just to hold that and look at that. You know, when I went to the movie, and I heard my song's the first song in the movie. When you're watching Gully Boy, after the credits, the movie starts with Ranveer Singh stealing a car. So when he steals the car and he turns the car on, the song on the radio playing is my voice. They steal the car, they put the ignition in, and as soon as the car turns on, you hear my voice rapping. I was like, raw, man, just sitting in the movie theater, hearing that, and then sitting there watching the credits, seeing your name in the credits. It was something that, bro, like, those type of things are greater than any type of money or anything you can get. This is the way I'm gonna live forever. I'm going down in a part of history, you know. And a lot of people don't know there was a big Bhangra song called "Twist" on Love Ajkal by Saif Ali Khan. My vocals are in that song. I just wasn't credited for it. So all the background vocals in Twist are my vocals. So, you know, it wasn't my first time doing, and then people don't know the song Bang Bang Gorda Part 2 on Roach's recent album. That was Akshay Kumar actually called us about that song. Akshay Kumar called Roach, and he had heard the song. We had put the trailer out in 2013, I think. It's on YouTube, the trailer still, from Movie Box. Akshay Kumar heard it and got Roach's number and called Roach and said, listen, I'm making this. So, there was a movie called Sing is King. He was making a follow-up to it called Sing is Bling. And he said, bro, I need this song. So we literally had the trailer out. We were going to release the song. We had to pause it. And then we began negotiations with the film producers. And anybody that's done a song for a Bollywood movie, the problem is that the script and the movie is all up in the air until literally they film it. So at the last minute, they changed the movie from being like an aggressive, you know, Gunda movie to like a comedy. And that didn't make sense to be the lead song anymore. So that's why that song, it was initially scheduled to come out in 2013, didn't come out until 2018.
Wow. So, okay. Right.
So there's so many stories like that, brother. Like, I mean, stories. I was invited to the Playboy Mansion. I went to the Playboy Mansion before Hugh Hefner died.
Serious?
You know, Yeah, brother, like life stories. You know, Amy Winehouse, like just memorable things. Amy Winehouse, God bless, you know, God rest in peace to her. The first time I came to England, and when I told you we were freestyling in the streets, we were on the Punjabi Hit Squad show. They took us to an industry party at a club called Hippodrome in Leicester Square. And we went to Hippodrome, and it was a talent night. And Amy Winehouse was backstage. This is before she was big. And she fancied my mate. And her and my mate were just canoodling in the corner, you know, like hugging each other up. They fancied each other. So like we hung out with Amy Winehouse, like so many things, bro. So many things.
That's mad crazy, man.
It's crazy, bro. That going to the Playboy Mansion, Tiesto was there, Flo Rida was there, Paris Hilton, Eve. Like you know, and they're looking at me like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, I'm the Punjabi Jay-Z.
That's a sick story, man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what have you got planned for the future then? Is there anything anything, are you planning anything different? You seem to have done what most people want to do or try to achieve in a lifetime.
Yeah.
You seem to have done it, and you're still quite young yet.
Yeah.
You still got a lot of time. Hopefully, you know, inshallah, you got a lot of time, a long life ahead of you. Do you have any plans, or is there anything that you would love to do, or any artists you'd like to work with, or maybe try something different, maybe away from the music scene?
Yeah, I mean, so number one, like I said, after I got out of the hospital from being hurt, it really it gave me like a new appreciation for life. So I came out, and the reason why I call this album Demo Tapes, which is interesting, is because these are all old songs. All these songs that I'm releasing, even 600cc, have been sitting on my laptop for over 10 years.
Wow.
Every single one of them. I just went and filmed videos for them, and I remastered them, and I packaged this, and I titled the demo tapes because they were essentially my demo tapes that helped me get my album deal initially, right? So what I did was I recorded 3 new albums. So I have a joint album, an EP with, there's a very big popular band in Canada called Dilly to Dublin. So I got a collaboration EP with the lead singer of that. I just recorded, I'm not sure. Do you know who El Fresh the Lion is?
No, not heard about
El Fresh the Lion. You should check him out, man. He's an Asian MC from Australia. He's very big in the mainstream scene out there.
Okay,
actually.
right. There's a massive Desi scene in Australia now. It's like blown up, like
it's huge. I didn't think so, but it's very big. So me and him, I just got his vocals last night. So I'm going to the studio after this to actually work on that project. So it's me, El Fresh the Lion, Desi Ma, which was also on Gaudier from Gully Boy soundtrack, and Roach. We have a project, and then I have another project finished with me and 3 other dangerous Asian MCs from Toronto. So I'm trying to release them all before the end of the year. All the projects are done. I have on this phone, I have over 20 music videos.
Wow,
I just literally, brother, like every Sunday at 11 a.m. Toronto time, 4 p.m. UK time, I go on my Instagram, I pick a different video, and I release it.
Right. Cool.
I work very different. I'm not the type of guy that's gonna start talking and saying I'm gonna release stuff, and then try to catch up and try to back up my words. Before you hear a peep from me, I will have 20 videos in my phone and 3 albums ready to go. So I'm trying to fit everything in before the end of the year. Hopefully I will be able to. If not, I guarantee you continuously I will be releasing music.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, it's been interesting talking to you. I would never have, I can't believe listening to your music, 10, maybe 12 years ago, and speaking to you today. Honestly, it's been an honor for me.
For me.
I genuinely like your music. I think you're very talented,
Thank you,
very skillful, and you're a very humble guy as well. I have to give you that. Honestly, I like for you to take time out and speak to us. I really appreciate it.
No, man, I wanna thank you for taking time out of on air and public. What people don't realize is the people behind the scenes, whether it's the radio presenters, the producers, they're really the ones who make it happen. So I want to, you guys dedicate your time, you selflessly, you know, sit and interview random people from Toronto on Zoom. You know, it's yeah. I can honestly just say, brother, thank you. I'm humbled the fact that you take time out of your day to even give me a platform for my voice, and I appreciate the radio station. I appreciate England, but especially Huddersfield. You know,
you know, next time you come, you know, like you have in England, we have a bring a bottle party. So we're gonna call you over, and you got to bring a bottle of Iron Brew. Bring me a bottle of ginger.
100%. Iron Brew or Lucozade. I miss Lucozade, brother. I miss Lucozade so much.
Let's hook it up, man. Let's do this.
But next time I'm there, hopefully, you know, when all the restrictions are lifted and stuff, brother, we will definitely meet in the flesh. Next time I'm there, I'll send you a message, and we'll celebrate life, brother. But once again, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for spinning the tunes. It means a lot to me, brother. Thank you.
No worries, man. Hopefully, what we'll do is next time you're in the UK, we're going to get you to come down to the studio. We can have a live session. You know, we can talk about, because it seems like it's very hard sometimes for me to talk to people about, or other Desi people or other Asian folk about real hip hop. Like, you know, when you mention names like Dave East or even, I mean, a lot of people know about DMX because he was really popular, but it's very tough sometimes to have these kind of conversations with people that really love the music. Yeah, and you obviously do. But next time, 100%, when you come to the UK, we're going to get you down to the studio, and we'll get some bottles popping.
Likewise, if you're ever in Toronto, brother, you make sure you give me a holler. Before I sign off, I just want to say the entire album demo tapes is available everywhere for streaming. 600cc is out now. Blitz featuring Roach Killer, produced by E=MC, and I ain't stopping, brother, until I'm dead. So, you know, more music on the way.
Yeah, definitely. Can you shout out your Instagram and your YouTube? I signed up to your YouTube channel a couple of days ago. I've subscribed to it. So everybody that's watching this, if you like hip hop, if you love hip hop, do check out the work. Blitz has got a massive catalog of music. Do check it out. But Blitz, if you could give us your Instagram and your social media.
My Instagram is @BlitzMusic1. That's the number 1. Follow me on there every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. UK time. New song. And my YouTube, just type in Get Blitz, one word in your search, and my channel will show up. And brother, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man. And everybody that's been watching this video, thank you very much for watching this interview. Thank you so much for your time. That was your boy Blitzkrieg, MC Blitz. Yes. And I was Saj Malik with Just Vibing Saj at Radio Sangam 107.9 FM. You can download the app for no cost. If you've got an internet connection, you can listen to it wherever you are around the world. So don't forget 11 p.m. while 1 a.m. on a Monday evening. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciation, brother. Peace.
Thank you.
Bye.
Blitz, actually, before you go, to get you just do a quick shout out for Radio Sangam. So this is me, Blitz. You're tuned into Just Vibing Saj. My program is called Just Vibing Saj. It's called Just Vibing. So if you could just say something like you're tuned into, you're listening to Blitz on Just Vibing on Radio Sangam.
All right. Yo, what up? This is Blitz, aka Blitzkrieg from Toronto, Canada. You are listening to the show Just Vibing on the best radio station in the UK, Radio Sangam.
Nice one, man. Thank you very much, brother.
Definitely
appreciate your time, man.
Do me a favor,
Sorry?
Message me on Instagram when this is going to be posted, and I'll share it.
Yeah, definitely. I will do. And if you have any music releases or anything like that, and you want to get your music out there, what I'll do is I will give you an email address, and you can send like your new music and stuff, and we can get it played like on our drive time show, especially on my show as well, and a couple other shows. So, and if there's anything we can do in any way to sort of promote your music or anything like that, you just give us a shout, man.
No doubt, brother. I'm gonna definitely all the new music. If you like anything from the album, feel free to listen to it and play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wicked.
And there'll be a lot more music coming.
Nice one, man. Wicked. Okay, man. Take care.
All right,
Rabraka.
Rabaka, man. Thank you, brother. Bye.
Take care, man. Bye bye. Blitzkrieg. He did that song with his pocket and he found. Yeah, I see you found it.
Let's end it.